We have some major last-minute Lakers trade updates to discuss as the trade deadline is just hours away, and Adrian Wojnarowski has dropped some bombs regarding, all the latest LA Lakers news, particularly their plans heading into this year's trade deadline, and how despite all of the rumors, everything that has come out in recent weeks, the Lakers probably aren't going to make a shocking move, but there are different types of trades we could see happen for LA. So lots of stuff to dive into, but before we dive into that, folks, again, we are very, very close to our goal of 2,000 subscribers. Hopefully before this year's trade deadline, over 90% of our viewers are not subscribed to the channel, so it would mean the world to us if you guys could hit that subscribe button so we can keep you up to date with all of the latest LA Lakers news as we inch closer to this trade deadline and to close out this season, which should be fun for LA. But let's dive into what's been going on. I'm spamming this Woj bomb animation today because he's dropped some reports, some news, basically for what Lakers fans should expect inching closer and closer to this year's trade deadline. So he just recently came out on his Twitter page, ESPN, and then discussed what the trade deadline should look like specifically for the LA Lakers. One thing he mentioned is the Lakers are less likely to make a significant trade. If the Lakers do anything, it'll be something more along the edges rather than around their core. So what does this mean? What does this mean? Because there's a few things to take into account. D'Angelo Russell has been a guy that's been thrown out in a bunch of trade discussions. However, he has been phenomenal as of late. He has earned himself this spot, this position as the LA Lakers starting point guard in recent weeks. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And there was some talk, speculation that he went under a minor procedure that could keep him out in tonight's game against the Denver Nuggets, I believe. But basically, that seems to be washed over now at this point, as he's not a part of the Lakers' injury report right now. It's only AD, Cam, the Vandalorian, as well as Gabe Vincent. So D'Angelo Russell's nowhere to be seen along those lines. And, saying things are good to go. So all that speculation about potential trades and everything like that seems to be a little bit washed. And given this report from Adrian Wojnarowski revealing that the LA Lakers are unlikely to make a big blockbuster trade, given how the DeJounte Murray stuff has kind of died out over the last few days and stuff, I predict D'Angelo Russell will stay an LA Laker past this year's trade deadline. Whether or not that's the right decision, the wrong decision, you guys can debate that in the comment section down below, given the fact he's been inconsistent over the course of his entire career, and especially during the playoffs, there are concerns of him being able to produce, for this LA Lakers team. But I think a lot of Lakers fans are happy with this sort of decision from the front office. Now, they could swerve, there could be a major sort of change, and then they end up making a blockbuster trade, but I think given all the reports that have come out, specifically from Woj, that seems unlikely. Then Woj also went on to say to reveal some more information. Basically, the Lakers' calculus has changed as with the re-emergence of D'Angelo Russell. 3 weeks to a month ago, he was very available. That isn't the case anymore. So, basically, D'Angelo Russell, he's likely going to stay. Woj directly addressed it and things like that. So what can be expected for the LA Lakers inching closer and closer to this year's trade deadline? Well, the one name has been brought up in recent reports has been Christian Wood, because the Lakers are just a little bit over $1 million over the tax line right now. And what does that mean? It means they're going to have to pay significantly more money being over the tax, not just this year, but if they end up being over the tax for multiple seasons in the future, then they're going to have to pay the repeater tax, and that's going to lead to a hefty sort of tax bill for the LA Lakers organization in the future, which could prevent them from making big trades or could prevent them from bringing in big players, signing big contracts when, they're in a new sort of era of Lakers basketball. So there's expectation that Christian Wood or one of the deeper bench guys could be dealt in a package where they also attach a second round pick or some type of draft asset in order to get off of these players' monies in order to get underneath that sort of tax apron. So again, a D'Angelo Russell for DeJounte Murray trade would have facilitated this, in its own right. But if that deal is not going to happen, I expect, even though I'd be a little bit disappointed in the LA Lakers potentially making one of these sort of money motivated moves, which again sucks for this LA Lakers team because especially in the front court, right? Jackson Hayes, and Christian Wood are the two guys that sort of are there to back up Anthony Davis, there to sort of, give some blow, give some rest for these main guys, especially when Jared Vanderbilt's back in the lineup. Hopefully he's not out, come the playoff time. But basically, the Lakers lack front court depth here now at this point. So if they end up just dealing away Christian Wood, who again, defensively, major question marks. He's not been consistent shooting the 3 ball this season. I get all that. He's been a disappointment to what expectations were when he came into this team, how hyped up he was coming into the season from Darvin Ham. But you can't just deal away a talented big just to get off of money. I think that would just blow. That would suck for this LA Lakers team because depth is needed. Depth is needed if you want to go on any type of playoff run, if you want to sort of make a push in this Western Conference team. I mean, the LA Lakers, again, defensively, we know what Anthony Davis can do. There's potential there for Jackson Hayes and all that, but going up against a Nikola Jokic, night in, night out, you can't just have AD on the court for 48 minutes. You just can't. You need to have other bigs out there that, maybe not won't be able to pick up the defensive load, but can give AD a blow to get some shots up and get some buckets in the paint. So that's sort of a move I'd expect. Other names that have been linked to the LA Lakers in recent days have been Dennis Schroeder, who, again, from the Toronto Raptors, I think he's not going to be given up for nothing, despite the fact the Raptors are likely pursuing a tank to close out this season. Masai Ujiri is probably going to want some value back. He has a deep relationship with the head coach of the Toronto Raptors, Darko Rajakovic, so he seems to be happy in Toronto. So if the Lakers want to bring him back, which would be really cool to see, given the fact that he helped the LA Lakers, make that playoff push, last season. Gabe Vincent's been injured, all these types of things. I mean, there probably have to be too much. I don't think the Lakers want to give up a protected first, or anything along those lines. Probably going after Kyle Lowry in the buyout market makes a lot more sense. Apparently Gordon Hayward's a guy that is going to get dealt from the Charlotte Hornets today, and he's been apparently the asking price is for a first-round pick for him, so it's unlikely the Lakers make that type of move. Again, he's a potential buyout candidate as well, but basically the reports have been that Gordon Hayward's his time up in Charlotte is done. He's not going to play for the Charlotte Hornets ever again, so that's intriguing there. Bruce Brown is another guy that, again, would fall under the category of a significant trade. The Raptors are not accepting anything less than a first-round pick and a decent player, or at least cap-filled player, to come back in a potential Bruce Brown package. So again, a lot of the targets that have been thrown out there for the LA Lakers off the table. Not going to happen. So personally, I'd expect one of those money-making moves the Lakers are to make a move today. And if they don't, and I don't think they should do that, because that also affects the players they're going to bring into the buyout market. Christian Wood has multiple years on his contract, so it's unlikely that the team would just pick him up for nothing. It's in a weird spot for the Lakers to be in, but at least LA's been winning as of late. They've been getting some wins. They've been racking up some W's. LeBron's been the entire team's been playing well, despite the fact that there has been some injury concerns with this team in recent weeks. But in order to make a push in the Western Conference now this year, the Lakers are going to have to be healthy. D'Angelo Russell's going to have to maintain this level of play because no crazy moves are going to go down. The Lakers are ignoring the calls from LeBron James to make a blockbuster trade package. So and now definitely my things could change for sure. We could get surprised at the trade deadline. Anything can happen, but we'll see how it all shakes out. But just know Lakers Digest will be covering it all. So subscribe to Lakers Digest if you want to keep up to date with everything regarding the LA Lakers. You guys are the best. Signing out. Cheers.